Just a quick reminder, when you're printing out your PDFs, check to make sure that you're printing at 100%. These projects are designed to fit in the book at 100%. They will still work if they're not exactly, but it doesn't fit as well. These are the supplies that we'll need to make this project. White glue, a nail daughter for scoring, a cutting mat, a ruler, and a craft knife. You can use a pair of scissors for this one if you don't have a craft knife. This PDF has 3 pages: the ground page, the page with the house, and an instruction page, which also includes this front cover that we're going to glue to the back of the project. We're going to start with the ground piece and just cut around the edges. After that, we're going to take the nail daughter and the ruler and score the fold line in the middle. After you score it, fold it in half, make sure it's all lined up neatly, and make a nice crisp fold. Then we'll go to the house page. We'll cut out all the pieces around the edges, but first let's score on the dotted lines. I find it's easier to score before we cut the pieces out. Don't forget the 2 dotted lines by the tabs and the white dotted lines on the roof pieces. Then we can go ahead and cut around the edges of the house piece. Before we do any folding, let's flip over the house piece and make a vertical line right down the middle of each point. We're going to use these as guidelines for when we glue in our support piece. Now we can fold on all the dotted lines, including the 2 tab pieces on the bottom. Put a thin layer of glue all along tab 1 so we can close up the wall. Press it together and give it a couple seconds to dry. Tabs 2 and 3 on the bottom are going to line up with the red lines on the ground piece. Again, put a thin coat on the tabs. It's better to put a thin coat all along the tab edges rather than big blobs of glue. That can get very messy. Line the sides up with the red lines on the ground piece, and be careful to put the front corner right on the dotted line of the ground piece. You can see the front corner lines up with the dotted line on the ground piece, but since it's a rectangle, the back corner will not. But that's okay because you need it to lift up when we fold the page in half and then pop back into place when it's open. Now we can cut out the support piece. Fold down on all the white dotted lines. This piece is going to go in the middle where we made our vertical lines earlier. It holds the roof onto the building. Put some glue on both triangles. Attach one to one side of the house and one to the other side of the house. It's always a good idea as you go along to fold it up occasionally and make sure that everything is still lying flat. Now we can cut out the roof piece. And we can fold the roof in half along the dotted line. Now we can put some glue on the tab that's on top of the support piece so we can attach the roof. Place it generally where you want it to go on top of the house, but it's easier to glue it in place if you open it up and line it up from the underneath side. It will be a little bit flippy when you first put it on. You might have to train the paper to lay the way you want it to. So you can just fold it all up and teach it to lay flat. You see how when it's closed, everything separates and moves around. But when you pull it open, everything should move into place. Now we can cut out the front cover that's on the instruction page. Fold up the house paper and make sure that the river is on top. That's the side we're going to glue the front cover to. Once again, a nice thin layer, particularly around the edges, and go ahead and glue the front cover on. It does actually make the folding easier if we put some extra support on the outside. If you wanted to leave this as a separate project and not put it in the book, I would recommend putting a plain piece of white card on the back as well. When we glue this in the book, make sure you put it on the bottom half of the page where the house and the symbols are, so that when you open it, it opens to the top of the page. And that is about it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And I'll see you again for the next one. Thanks. Bye.